All right, shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kakodash, the honors to my elders and my apostles, the great millstone, which are the men that rule well, men who taught us his truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. And Lord willing, the title will be, whether real or not, prophecy will be fulfilled. Okay? Speaking of what's going on down in Texas right now, you got, it's all over the social media. I know I was on TikTok earlier, and they're speaking of how there's going to be a civil war within the nation, within Texas, and their rulers, their governor and senator, their governor, wants to close the borders, and he's claiming that letting in all the migrants is invasion of their territory and things like that, which that's neither here nor there as far as whether they're right or they're wrong, because at the end of the day, us as Hebrew Israelites, we stand with prophecy, and we could care less about Democrat, Republican. What we're all about is pushing the words of the Lord, and what we want is Yahweh Shai to be the governor, to be the ruler, to be the king. All right, we want him to rule, and the law, statutes, and commandments be implemented. But nonetheless, you got the federal government telling, the governor in Texas to, open up the borders, and he says he doesn't want to, and you got talks of the president sending federal troops to fight against Texas National Guard and things like that, and things of that nature, right? But then you have other people saying that no, it's fake and things like that. So you have one side saying one thing, one side saying another. We know Esau is a master deceiver and a master of smoke and mirrors, but the truth is that regardless of how true the situation is, and the reason why I'm kind of iffy, I'm picking my words wisely, just because of for one, the algorithm. I don't want to get the video clipped or my channel clipped or deleted, and also because here at Great Millstone, man, we're not gonna spread false information or be quick to jump the gun, because sometimes you'll see certain things and then it turns out it was a hoax. But not to say that that's what this is, but because you could see there's videos of the migrants trying to come through, and this ain't the first time something like this has happened. But man, you see all types of things. The media is a very powerful thing. If Esau's telling you something, you should probably think twice. So when he shows you these things, we think twice. But nonetheless, whether real or not, prophecy will be fulfilled. 2 Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. The Lord's people are the Israelites, right? And we're going to speak unto you the words of prophecy. Because, they're saying, media is saying, no, there won't be a civil war. Social media is saying there will be, right? And you got, like we read over here, Oklahoma sending National Guard to help Texas amid threats of U.S. civil war. And these are different articles. I'm not going to click on any just because of, I'm just trying to be cautious, of what type of information to put out there and things like that. But, as far as scriptural information, we're going to bring that out. All right. So it says, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. So, that's what we're doing. All right. We're going to speak to you the words of prophecy that the Lord had the prophets scribe down back then. And then we're breaking it down now. For they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Right? Because you have people saying, no, the prophecies ain't gonna happen. We're biblical times is already past. But no, there's still prophecies that have to be fulfilled. And I'm gonna read two specific ones. So it says, because regardless of if this is gonna cause a great civil war, regardless of if it's going to cause it or not, eventually, that type of friction, if you will, has to happen, because the Lord spoke about, a time of trouble. how about Shemiel Shai spoke about a time. Well, I'm going to read it. I don't want to jump the gun. It says, "If you're not okay." Verse 4: "For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness." Right? Because the unfaithful are going to die in their unfaithfulness. Because what do they say? The evil should not overtake nor prevent us, like the scriptures say that they would say, or they have that mindset, right? Well, the scriptures also say that all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword. All right, the scriptures speak about how the slain of the Lord shall be many. All right, those are the prophecies. So it says, verse 5: "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword." Which that's a part of that. What you just saw, that's a plague of the sword. Obviously, the biggest sword plague is the missiles, but that's also one as well. All right. Can you imagine if there is like a full on civil war that just took off right now, and you got the southern states fighting against the northern states, or red versus blue, and it's a slaughter out here, man. That's a plague of the sword. Famine, death, and destruction. That's a part of prophecy. Okay, there being a lack of resources, lack of food, lack of water, which war brings those things, because you're gonna have soldiers. Soldiers, what do? When they run out of their resources, they're gonna pillage. That's how war works, right? Death and destruction. Those are the things that's gonna happen as well. These are the things that the Lord is bringing. He's not bringing the kingdom of heaven, then that. No, he's bringing the evil, then the kingdom, right? "For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hopeful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they have wickedly exercised themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood." Now, mind you, what the Lord is saying, these people have done so much wickedness that he has to bring forth judgment, which he will. That's what makes him a just power. He sees the wickedness that's going on in the land, and what it says, "The innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually." Yeah, he sees the unjust and the souls of the righteous. Oh, Salakia. The souls of the righteous are crying unto the Lord. All right, and we're complaining continually. Okay, it says, "And therefore, saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them." Right, because the Lord knows that we're sighing and crying for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, and he has to bring forth judgment. This right here, going on in Texas, is the Lord. If this is real, and death, these are, the Lord's bringing forth judgment. You can see here, you got pictures of migrants trying to cross the border. Texas put up the barbed wire. And like Texas, this is the wrong type of people. These are the Edomites you really don't want to mess with. We have right to defend country, which they're quoting it all funny. It's improper English. We have the right to defend our country, or whatever they meant to say. Well, yeah, don't mess with Texas. That's their motto, right? That's their, motto. And what, those things are, those are the type of people that don't take no shit, man. So you try to tell someone like that what to do, they're gonna, it's gonna cause static, so to speak, right? It says, let me see. Yeah, because the Lord's going to bring forth that judgment, man. This is just evils that the Lord is ramping up, So it says, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt." Right, which, prophetically, this is not talking about ancient Egypt, because Ezra was well after that time. We had been left Egypt when Ezra, the prophet Isaiah, wrote this, right? So why is Egypt being mentioned? Well, parabolically and prophetically speaking, Egypt, the new Egypt, is America. All right, that's why when you read in the curses, the Lord said he would bring us into Egypt again with ships, which we know that's representative of bondage, because we're in different various parts of the earth in our captivity. Bet it was also speaking specifically also about America, because when you read the curses of Deuteronomy 28, it says that he will bring us into captivity again with ships. And where were we brought to with ships? The Americas. And us Northern Kingdom that was in the Americas was taken, to the other side in captivity with ships, right? So it says, verse 11, here's the point. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, right? Talking about delivering the elect, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. That's how you know this is talking about America, because for one, Egypt was not destroyed after our captivity, after our captivity in ancient Egypt, and it also speaks about what? He's going to smite Egypt with plagues as before. So the as before lets us know that he's speaking about Shalakia, been up since the early AM, but so it says as before because we already went through that captivity. He's speaking of the new Egypt, which is here in America, and we'll destroy the land thereof. That's a prophecy for America. You see, but it says he will bring plagues as before, and what is one of those? What's one of those plagues? That's going on, man. That's one of those plagues that can be attributed to one of those plagues because America. All right, the scriptures speak about a land divided against itself cannot stand. Yahweh Shai said that in Mark the 3rd chapter is one of them, where he had mentioned that, kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. That's a plague unto your kingdom, Esau. Okay, and the Lord spoke about the new Egypt in Isaiah 19, and I'm going to get one precept out of there. Matter of fact, I'm going to get a few. I don't know why I forgot to copy and paste the other ones, but I'm gonna just read it in my app. So the book of Isaiah or Yeshaya in the Hebrew, chapter 19, I'm gonna start at verse 1. The burden of Egypt, behold. Now real quick, let's go to that word burden in Isaiah 19 before I start reading it, because this prophecy is upon America, okay, which the Lord called Egypt. So the burden of Egypt. When you go into that word burden, it's the Hebrew word mashah, which means load, bearing, tribute, burden, lifting, right? All right, bearing, carrying, tribute, right? Burden, essentially, right? So the burden of Egypt, there's going to be a burden upon Egypt, you see? So nothing good is coming to Egypt, man. Like we read in 2 Esdras 15, the Lord will plague Egypt as before. It says, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud and shall come into Egypt. Which what? That's that mighty hand and stretched out arm in 2 Esdras 15. Okay? That's what that's talking about, because the Lord said he would deliver his people. Matthew 24 says that Yahweh Shai will gather the elect from the four winds. And he's coming on a cloud. It says, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Right? Because that's what's coming to Egypt. Nothing good. You see? The Lord is bringing this place down. All right? And this quote-unquote civil war is a good sign of it being brought down. Okay? Because like I mentioned, we mentioned it at camp as well. We spoke about this at camp, where a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. So this is regardless of what's going on, how much of it's true, how much of it's false, the fact that, the federal government has to tell Texas's jurisdiction, their own little jurisdiction, what to do, lets us know that it's a kingdom that's divided. Okay? When you have someone on a federal level, demanding that someone in a smaller jurisdiction needs to do something and they say no, that's a division. All right, that's a kingdom divided against itself. It's called the United States of America, but there's 50 states, and they're not all upon agreement. Some states you can do certain things, some states you can't. So this place is through, just based on that alone and based on prophecy, right? It says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. The modern day Egyptians is the so-called white man, so-called white men, the Edomites, the descendants of Esau, Edom. It says, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Right. And that's what you see going on right now, man. That's why you're going to have that, man. You're going to have the Bible Belt Edomites, and, they hate, man. No one hates what's the word? I don't want to compare it like that, but man, Democrat Edomites and Republican Edomites and Bible Belt Edomites, they hate each other. They hate the liberals, and the liberals hate them. They call you you got the liberals calling them bigots, and then you got the Bible Belt Edomites, the conservative, calling them all types of stuff that I can't say because it'll get your video clip. But they calling them moles and weak and poor excuse of a human and things like that. But nonetheless, what does it say? City against city and kingdom against kingdom. Right? This place is divided, man. I'm going to finish off in verse 3. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. Right? Because that's what they're going to do. Obviously, that's the elite, of this society. That's what they're going to do, right? They're going to, seek to their witchcraft. But what? The Lord's going to bring this place down. He said it in verse 1, and it says, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in it, in the midst of it. Okay, so this place is through, regardless of how much is going on down there, regardless of how serious it's going to get or how serious it is. The fact that a kingdom is divided, it won't stand. Okay, so, I hope this was edifying. I want to give all the praises, glory, and honor to our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakodash, double honors, and to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, which are the men that rule well and that taught us his truth. And of course, always peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. I pray this was edifying. Shalom.